God damn it.
God damn it.
Yeah, let's get this started. I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah, let's do it. Nick,
Alright.
Nick, where are we going?
Starting in 5, 4, 3.
Hey guys, welcome to the 4Player podcast.
Did you say welcomes?
Welcomes
Welcome.
to 4Players podcast, episode 77. It is August 24th. It's a Sunday.
Dude, you got these little insects crawling over the place.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell these came from.
They're nets. They come out when there's stuff. I don't know.
Weird stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, just trash and food or whatever. It's just, it only takes one, and then they just kind of stay. Whoa, there is a lot of them.
I was about to say they're crawling on your computer screen.
Holy crap! You can't bat them away either. You just got to clean really, really well, or they'll never go away. Isn't this great podcasting?
Yeah. Okay.
So we have here with me. I'm Brad. We have here Nick and David, and we're going to talk about games and stuff. We're going to start off with what we've been playing as usual.
Earth Defense Force, yeah. Somebody just said call the EDF.
He's referring to somebody in chat saying something like a jerk, interrupting our show. Well, we do a live show here at 4Player or Justin.tv/4Player podcast spelled out. If you're listening to an archive right now and you want to kind of join in on the live shows, we usually record these Sunday night. Just go to 4playerpodcast.com for more info. And yeah, after the news, we're gonna move on to our discussion topic. We're gonna talk a little bit about game delays and the lot, and then we're gonna hit up the community segment. And
What
then,
happened to the news? God damn it, they're all over the
I already
place.
mentioned the news. And
I'm sorry, I was too busy watching the gnats flying in front of my computer screen.
then we'll wrap things up with the 4-player minute.
Yes, we will.
So with that being said, what have you been playing, David?
Well, I think I'm the only one who's actually been playing anything this week. I just tried out the Star Wars Force Unleashed demo.
All right, I guess we'll all talk
I
about
think
it.
we all tried that demo out. Thank you very much.
Everybody who has a freaking video game console that can play that game.
Is it on the PS3?
Yes, it's also on the PlayStation.
Oh, damn.
Fucking everything's.
I downloaded,
nowadays.
even though I'm buying the PS3 version, I downloaded the 360 version of the demo just because it was, for some reason, available about 2 or 3 hours before.
It was. That's what I was wondering. Because like
When I first checked, it wasn't there.
when I played it, the PS3 one wasn't available, so
I went ahead and downloaded
PS3 sucks. It got the Force Unleashed demo late.
Right. Okay. So, first of all, positive, negative, thumbs up, thumbs
it's pretty
down.
cool. I mean, it's
Pretty
not
fun.
It's
Pretty
not.
fun.
It's not gonna make the demo's not gonna make me change my mind and buy it. But I do see the potential in it now. I think some of the force lifting mechanics are a little bit weird.
They're a little
to
awkward,
get used
and
to.
I talked about this in my blog.
That's because you didn't do this tutorial.
No.
No,
No.
I thought it's weird because
No.
you have to use.
Do you know you independently use the different sticks?
Yeah,
to,
yeah. But the thing is, when I'm running forward and I pick something up, it automatically defaults it to shoot it forward, basically, because I'm holding forward. You know.
What?
Never mind.
Well,
Oh, I played it on Sith Lord, dude. I played it on hardest difficulty. I didn't even play the tutorial.
It's not a game that should be played on the thing is, this isn't like a Devil May Cry. It's not like a Ninja Gaiden.
this is all.
You're
about
going to
doing-
get a lot of cheap hits. You're going to have camera problems. And the reason you're going to get through it is because your character is so, overpowered. But it's not the
Yeah, I
kind
didn't die once. I don't think
I
it's
died a
even
couple
possible
times.
to die.
On the hard mode, you just die a lot quicker from the shots. But the thing is, it's like, you have very little control over what hits you and what doesn't. I mean,
Blocking doesn't even always block everything.
no, I mean, the blocking does. It works. It's what I'm saying is, this is not the kind of game where you can tune up the difficulty and not have a problem if you, increase your skill level. I don't think. I mean, it's just... Here's the thing. I was thinking about getting it before. Now I'm probably not going to get it for $60. It's still a lot of fun, but it's not the game I was hoping it was going to be. It's not like a very skill-based, Twitch-based, action game.
Really? Because when I first saw this game, now that I've played it, I think it's exactly what I was expecting it to be.
No, it's
And
exactly
that's
what I was
just that
expecting.
it's just going to be fun, mindless violence.
And I was hoping for more than that.
I
really
was hoping, but to be honest, I don't really think with the Star Wars,
Can you not pick up multiple guys at the same time?
you can't. See, I'm sure you upgrade your force ability as you continue through the game, I'm sure. And I'm not sure if the demo really was the best, area to show off all these things, because one of the point of the game is he's hunting down the rest of the Jedi, so I think the Jedi boss battles are probably going to be a little bit different than playing the actual, like, at the end of the demo you fight it in what are those ATSTs, walker things, instead of, I really wanted to fight a Jedi and just see how the battles flow that way, but I guess I'll have to wait till the actual game comes out.
The AT&T was like the ATST was like the easiest thing to beat.
Yeah.
I got a hard time like with the guy.
It was funny too, like, because I played through it a few times, just because it is fun. I was like just standing way back on the bridge, just lifting up objects and throwing at it from afar, and he was getting hit by it. And by the time I walked up to him, it was already like, it had a big flashing X on there because I was ready to do my little quick time event, which is pretty shitty.
Really?
Well, I mean, I don't like how that's in the game. I don't just stop. This isn't God of War. Don't do it. It doesn't make your game better.
It looks like it's trying to be kind of a God of War.
But God of War does it so like much better than these other games. Like it's just fluid. There really is a payoff, like in terms of how cool it looks when you do a quick time event in God of War. Like you're like fucking ripping the jaw off of something and stabbing them in the eye, and it just looks nice.
Yeah.
In some of the games that do it, like in like Tomb Raider.
I thought it was really cool how you ended up just split it in half and you see the stormtroopers that were inside.
But you're going to see that shit every time.
I know.
And like every time you fight one of those enemies, God of War, I don't know. But yeah, the thing is, like I got the feeling, and I don't know why I wasn't expecting this. Everything felt a little sloppy. Like I think the camera is kind of bad in this game.
It's not the greatest. I agree.
And the lock on for what you're going to use the Force on is completely like fucking random.
That I hope they maybe they're still working on. I really hope.
I doubt it.
God, it's so clunky, and I mean, even though
it's like I'd be like facing something, and all of a sudden I'd grab something from behind me, and the camera would swing around, and all of a sudden I'm lifting a TIE fighter. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and when you throw those TIE fighters, and they just blow up.
Yeah,
that would be cool if there's physics involved, and they actually like crashed in there and didn't blow up.
That was one thing I thought was really, the game looked fantastic for the most part. It looked very detailed, but the explosions looked like ass.
Yeah, they look
that's what I'm saying. They explode and then nothing happens.
But
even disappear.
Even then, though, like that feeling you get when you first walk up to a TIE fighter and you lift it up and it's slowly moving, it just like I sort of got goosebumps, like old like Star Wars kind of thing when he's lifting the ship out of the the Dagobah swamp or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it was just, whoa, that's kind of cool. But
I think this is probably one of the most.
At the same time, I want to be able to pull a Star Destroyer out of the sky,
which looks freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I
didn't see the trailer. The trailer looks pretty cool. There's this one part where like, I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, go ahead. I just have a feeling what you're about to say.
Well, in the trailer, there's this one part where this girl kisses him, and he's all like confused, and that's like the part that got me most excited about the game, because I was like, what is going on?
It's a love story.
Yeah, so that's cool. I mean,
like, you think the story's going to be very well developed?
I think the story is actually going to be the best.
I don't want to spoil anything, but suppose
the best aspect of it, not using the Force powers, that's not going to be the best part of it.
To be honest, like I think the game would have had a lot more effect on me had I not already played Grand Theft Auto, because it uses the same physics engine, and I think the physics engine.
You don't pick up anything like this.
I wish I could Grand Theft Auto, but it's cool picking up a guy and getting him to pick up another guy and then just spinning.
I was trying to get like a big long chain going.
You can't. It can only be like two guys.
Yeah. Oh, you only can be.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Well, and they're not. I didn't never notice them. I think they took it out, but before, like, they were supposed to grab onto objects. I didn't see that at all. They didn't grab onto any objects.
I had a guy grab a box.
I had a guy grab a box too, because I couldn't lift him and the box.
I couldn't pick up both. It sucked.
You know what also kind of sucked? You can't. If you stand on something and use the Force on it, it won't lift you up.
I know, which I thought was.
On PsyOps, you could do that. Like, you could stand on, like, a big metal like plate and like lift it up and just sort of like fly with it.
And we're saying these things, but we gotta also consider this is not the full game, and there's gonna be
this game
upgradables.
Is pretty much done. Like,
I know, but there's gonna be upgradables and stuff. And
no, you're right about that. Like, you can upgrade.
Even though I couldn't lift the Stormtrooper holding on to the.
But you're already doing so much. If you're lifting up TIE fighters,
I know.
But how much more are you going to be lifting than that? You know.
But I mean, I saw the box start to move. I just wasn't lifting it freely in the air, which seems kind of unbalanced because I was grabbing TIE fighters and throwing them.
The bending metal is kind of cool. Did you go out onto the bridge and like, you know, you can like bend the arms into the way of the TIE fighters and stuff?
Yeah, that was cool.
Or just like lifting a guy up into the air in the path of a TIE fighter and watching the whole thing explode.
That's what I did is I picked up a guy and just held him over the edge and just let him go.
But you can actually lift him up in front of a TIE fighter and like cause the TIE fighter to to run into him and explode.
And
y'all
explode by running into a guy.
Any one of y'all do one of the chain like attacks? You can actually lift him into the air, throw your lightsaber at him, and then lightning force him and then it will fly away as lightning is chasing him down.
Well, you got to force push him up in the atmosphere. The coolest thing though is just grabbing a guy and just it's just
no. But I
way
picked up a guy and they slammed him in the ceiling and slammed him to the ground.
Oh yeah.
And slammed him to the ceiling.
It's fun.
Slammed him to the ground.
It's fun. But honestly, I think that is going to kind of wear thin
Yeah,
after a while. And I think the game might be a little too easy. It'll be a little too short. Well, I'm worried. It's going to be fun, but I think this is the kind of game that I'm going to wait till it's maybe $30 before
I think this is probably one of the best looking in terms of
good rental maybe.
I think it's probably one of the best portrayals of the Star Wars universe that I've seen. Just the way that the look of the game and the music. The music brought back a lot of nostalgia for me. And even the trailer clip they had at the end, where it shows some of the environments you're going to be visiting, it was playing the Star Wars music, kind of made me excited.
That's how every Star Wars game is, though. Man.
But I've never had that feeling playing anything other than a little bit in KOTOR, but other than that, pretty much.
You should play Star Wars Masters of Terras Casa.
What?
That'll bring back the feeling of.
It's a Star Wars fighting game.
I'll pass.
On
On the PS1.
I'll
You get to
pass.
play as Luke Skywalker.
You know what's funny? I think I actually own that at one
And
point.
Boba Fett.
I think I blocked it from my mind.
I don't know.
I
Cool boss fights versus a Boba Fett kind of guy or something like that would be really cool.
I am going to pick up the game on the PS3 day one, so I will let y'all know away.
Just he's gonna fight the Rancor or whatever, and I know it's gonna be the exact same thing as fighting the AT Walker thing. I do think a cool effect is when you slash close to a wall, you'll see it's sort of like a slash mark.
One of the first
lightsaber slash mark.
The first thing I did, I ran up to one of those droids going through the hallway, and I just did a one slash. Then all of a sudden, I see the top of his head kind of slide off, and there's a smooth cut on the top of the droid, and there's a glowing rim around it where I cut him.
But that's the thing. It was cool. From what I noticed, the lightsaber combat seems relatively lame because you're not slicing and dicing.
That's why I wanted to fight a Jedi and see if it actually feels epic, when you're fighting a one-on-one fight with another Jedi. But
I don't mean to be skeptical, but I have a feeling that cool one-on-one fight with the Jedi is just going to be a bunch of slashing, and all the cool stuff is going to be in your little quick time event when you hurt them enough.
Well, I'll let you know when I play the game.
So many of these games nowadays. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
You're going to slash them a whole bunch, and then you're going to see something cool in the quick time event.
Cool.
And then you slash them some more, and then there's going to be a quick time event, and the fight's going to be over.
Well, I'll let you know when I buy it.
Cool. But I don't mean to be too negative on it, because it's still a lot of fun. And I did play through it 4 or 5 times.
Which is good, because most Star Wars games don't get a good rap.
Blowing open like a wall is pretty cool.
That mega force push you get, where it's ultra powered, and you do it, and you send guys flying in all directions. It's awesome.
I want and all the guys around them go flying.
You do.
The enemies seem so non-threatening though. I could just stand in front of a guy and be like, yeah.
That's
Just
he is a Jedi. So.
I know, but still, I don't want this game to be too easy. I don't want to be the thing I'm struggling with, the camera and the controls, picking up what I want to pick up. But let's move on. We've been talking about this for quite some time. Have you been playing anything else, David?
Just stuff that randomly picked up.
We've been playing some more Bionic Commando. We got all the way to the last stage.
Is that this week?
It's a long fucking stage. Yeah.
Freaking time goes by. Let's finish that this week.
Yeah,
because it is important.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Did play Braid. Did play some Guitar Freaks. Did play some poppin' music. It was just little stuff. I've been pecking at some stuff, trying to start something out. I'm really trying to find a game to start up.
You get through Braid. I'm telling you, you'll like the record level. I think you will. I mean, if you loved it in Blinks, you're gonna love it even more here because of the layers of the puzzles are required. Some stuff in that game that will still blow your effing mind. So what have you been playing, Nick?
Well, I was playing Prince of Persia Warrior for the PS2.
Tell me about this.
I think.
How's the combat?
It's not the most amazing improvement over the first one.
Okay.
It is better.
Is it still you get into comedy?
You still have the
and the guys, do guys still keep coming up fucking stop?
No, they've kind of toned that down. You can actually usually from most areas you can go in, you see how many enemies there are, you kill them, it's done, you move on. I haven't had any parts where they just keep spawning and whooping my ass and having frustration like that. So that's definitely an improvement. The boss fights are pretty cool. There was one that was kind of frustrating, but it only took me like 4 or 5 tries, and I finally finished it.
What about environmental navigation? Is it as heavy as it was in the first one? Because I hear they toned it down and it's more like combat in this game.
There is more combat, like strewn throughout, but there is still a lot of environmental navigation. I think toning it down might not be the best choice of words. They've just thrown combat into the environmental navigation. So you kind of have to, it's not all over the place. There's some like hallways you have to get through in order to get past one thing. You have to fight, and sometimes there's these new enemies, these like dog enemies that can crawl on the walls, and sometimes they're like on the wall blocking where you have to run. It's kind of annoying.
If there was no combat in the first Prince of Persia, I'd probably like it better.
It's possible. They did throw in these giant. It's funny because they threw in these giant enemies. They're like golems. They have these like iron like body suits on, whatever, and they're in. You have to like basically like run and roll underneath in between their legs and attack. You basically have to attack the back of their heel until they fall over on their knees, and then you have to run from their back and attack the back of their head. And it took me a few tries before I realized this, but like I was attacking the back of his head, and then after a while he reaches up, and you have to like, if he reaches up to his right arm, you have to move to his left shoulder by tapping left on the joystick, and vice versa. And half the time it's really hard to time, so they'll grab you and throw you off. But the easiest way to beat these guys is once they fall to their knees, and you jump on their back, you slow down time, and you just sit there and beat the crap out of their hat, out of the back of their
slow
mask.
down time in a fight?
Yeah.
This
game, I don't remember if it was like this in the first one, but when you slow down time, but you still move fairly fast.
You know what I can never figure out also in the first Prince of Persia?
What?
Like I never did it once in the entire game. Is that move where you like zoom all over the place and kill everybody?
Oh, I did that several times.
Okay,
I
that's great. I couldn't even figure out how to activate it.
I don't remember, but I remember doing it. I don't know what else to tell you. There's one kind of like that in this, and it's pretty cool. But I tried using it on a rather important boss fight.
So more importantly, is the story all better, more dark and emo?
It is darker and emo-ish, definitely.
Dark.
You like it?
But I like it.
I like the ending. Oh, okay. So have you been playing anything else?
No, because here's the cool thing.
He cuts himself.
No, there's this big like shadowy demon called the Dahaka that's chasing you the entire game. And it's weird. Every time he shows up, it starts that Godsmack music, and you have to like run.
Oh!
You have to run from him through the environments, and then you eventually escape him. But then you start catching glimpses of this like smaller like shadow figure, and he's always off in the distance, and he runs off. And you're basically chasing him, trying to figure out who he is. And I have a feeling he's going to be the Dark Prince that you kind of like mesh with and becomes the third one. So.
Man,
I don't know.
Is the music like? You know,
it is.
I love Devil May Cry, but like 3 and 4, the worst parts of those games was the horrible fucking battle music.
I like the battle music in 4. I don't know about 3. I don't remember 3.
It's even worse in 4 than 3. I think.
Really? I don't
know. It's just you're killing demons. Blah 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 blah.
I like it. I think it fits. So I thought it fit.
What do you mean?
They could have mixed it up more because there wasn't a big variety of it. But
oh shit!
Your head the sword.
It's terrible. I fucking hate it, dude. If I can go my life never hearing that damn battle music again, I'll be a happier person.
All right.
Like overall.
But I think they didn't. Using Godsmack was kind of a weird choice, and there's not very much like whimsical, more like actual Persian style music in this game, which is kind of a stupid decision. But
it's so stupid.
I guess they
trying to appeal to a wider audience.
But the game is a little bit different because in this one you're in this I was about to call it the Temple of Time, but it's basically this fortress where the Empress of Time is creating the sands of time, and you're trying to prevent her from making the sands of time.
So you go back in the future?
So you can stop the Dahaka from chasing you down and kill you.
You're back in the past?
You have to actually, there's these pedestals that you have to activate these switches, and it takes you from present day to past, and then you have to do things in the past and go to the present and change things in the future, and you have to use that to navigate the environment because it'll be different, based on the environment.
How about puzzles? Well, no, go on. I'm sorry.
Puzzles about the same as the first one. There's not a whole lot of puzzles. Yeah, it's just a bunch of environmental navigation.
It's no
out where the switches are.
It's no dungeon crawler, basically, is what you're saying.
Yes, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun. I'm kind of breezing through it. I hope to finish that in the next couple of days. But the other game I've been playing this week, I beat Portal.
Oh! Oh, jeez, it must have taken you all week.
I was like, I'm going to start. It was one.
You were playing nonstop since the release of the Orange Box, right?
It was 1 a.m. in the morning one night. I was like, you know what? I'll start it tonight. I'll finish
1
it
a.m.?
tomorrow. I went to bed at 4:30. I finished it in one sitting, like you said.
Good.
It was good. It was great. It was
Fucking
amazing. I don't understand what the big fuss was about the cake is a lie. I knew it was...
No, there was never a fuss.
No, everyone's like, oh my god, it's so amazing. Like,
there was never been. It's just something that the fans of the game could latch on to.
No, but...
So, like, when they said it, other fans would know what they're talking about.
I understand that. It's kind of a catchphrase of the game, but people were, like, talking about this, and I was really expecting there was going to be a huge twist in this game. But then it turns out, sorry, spoilers. Turn your volume down for about 10 seconds.
Spoilers.
So it turns out she's trying to kill you, but you could have figured this out from the entire time she's talking to you when she tells you should just lay on the ground and lay in front of a rocket and stuff like that. She says this way before you realize she's trying to kill you. So I was like,
no, I mean you kind of realize something's wrong with it.
Something's wrong with this bitch. I knew something was wrong with it, and I knew she was probably trying to murder me way before I realized at the end. So
it's not about the twist. It's about like how just like cool the whole thing.
I liked the
like,
I really liked the last fight. I thought it was really cool how you had to like knock the orbs off of her. And the second time, like, I kept thinking, I was like,
did you hear that one of them when you pick them up? One of them is saying ingredients to cake ingredients,
which was awesome. But like, I thought it was really cool how you had to place the portals for the rockets to go through it and shoot it and stuff.
Yeah.
But like there was one point where you knock one of them off. Like the first one,
to figure out how
the first one kind of falls down and gets it. The second time I died. Because I was looking all over the place for it. I didn't even realize I could look up and there was like platforms above. I had to like shoot a portal up there and then jump. The last one you have to like jump out and it's hanging in midair and you have to like land on it to knock it out of the air.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. But I really enjoyed it.
I just love that last level. I love that last level so much. Where you're using all your abilities to sort of, instead of like really clean like puzzles, to like very like in the opposite sort of like create like chaotic way, trying just to get the fuck out of there, you know. And you're doing things like maybe if I shoot it through this little tiny crevice I can make, you're like, oh, that can't be right. And like, sure enough, it is. And it's like it just seems so like opposite to like the kind of stuff you were doing earlier in the game, but you're still using what you learned and through all those tests to get the fuck out of there, which is really cool. And like it's just so strange when you come across like, oh, now there's like a door. I guess because you've never seen anything like that, so it's like, can I open doors? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And then you do it, and you're like, oh, okay, this is getting crazy. So
there was one part in the game that I really don't think I did what I was supposed to do to solve the area. Where you're trying to jump into a little vent, and you can't shoot a portal through the vent or into the vent or the walls around the vent are like the ones that you can't make portals on. And I couldn't figure out what to do, and I basically went back 3 or 4 rooms back, grabbed a chair, went over there, laid it down, tried to jump up, still couldn't get it, came back, stacked the chair on top of it, jumped on top of it, and I still couldn't jump into it. And then all of a sudden when I jumped, it kind of glitched, and then all of a sudden I appeared in the vent. So I was like, I just kind of glitched myself into the vent.
Well, some of the best moments in this game are when you're like, okay, I'll do that and that and that, and that should work. It'll propel me to there. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing? And you just shoot a portal over there on the other side of the room. Because it's just like some of these times you've been doing all these complex puzzles and you don't realize that some of like the simplest things are like right in front of you.
It's the coolest mechanic I think in the whole game is how you propel yourself forward by jumping through a hole, shooting yourself out, and then making another portal so you go faster and farther.
The craziest one was like when you had to use your perpetual motion and you're moving up a room, and as you're flying up, you have to try to shoot another portal on another platform while you're like twisting around, flying up over and over again.
Yeah,
that room was fucking crazy.
It was cool. They are making a sequel, right? That's what I heard.
No.
No.
That's not what you heard. The Still Alive is a standalone release of the game with more content.
I know, but I thought I heard them saying they were developing a sequel to Portal.
No. Yeah, maybe they said that, but that's so far in the future. I don't know. Who cares?
It was cool. I enjoyed it. I see why it got such mention last year. Oh, sure.
Anything else?
That was pretty much it.
Okay, I've been playing some stuff. Kind of a lot, but not really. So I finished Prince of Persia.
You see what I was talking about at the end where it gets really frustrating because they take away all your abilities?
Yeah, but I found the most frustrating part was, like I was saying, the sand bukkake.
Which is what?
Just that clusterfuck of a fight where, like, you're on this little elevator, and Bear's just stone fucking feet, not moving from her little spot the entire elevator ride, and, like, non-stop enemies are coming. It's like this whole platform is moving up.
Oh,
it's not like an elevator per se, but, yeah. And, like, enemies are coming non-stop, and like you're fighting them, it never fucking stops. You try to get some water, but no, they hit you. Like the best way I found out to like regain life when you're in one of them clusterfuck fights is to stab everybody with your sand knife and freeze them.
Yeah.
And then go drink some water.
That's the situation where you could have used that ability you were talking about that you couldn't activate.
Exactly. Even actually in the little like vision or whatever, it showed him using it, but I didn't know how.
And here's the weird...
You have to have like everything completely.
And one thing I thought was so stupid, they teach you how to use these abilities once, and there's no way that I can see to go back to a tutorial and...
I still don't recall ever like doing that move in the game. But like the thing is, so like I'm in that fight and I'm fighting and I'm doing all right, but of course there's still like 48 more guys I have to fight, and then all of a sudden one of them appears over by Farrah. She's like, help, help! So you go over to help her, and then like all of them just spawn around you because they follow you. So now you're trying to fight off 18,000 guys, and Farrah is obviously not moving at all, just standing in the same fucking spot. I hate her so much. But
oh yeah, you'll be happy to know there's no female bitch following you around the second.
Good. But see, I want less combat, more really cool like environmental stuff. That's
I'd say at least give the second one a try.
It's funny you say it's brutal when they take away your rewind, because I've been playing another game which is essentially a similar type game with no rewind. But I'll get to that in a second.
I know what you're talking about.
Which can be really frustrating. But yeah, and the final boss was like retarded stupid. I mean, it wasn't fun.
It wasn't that great.
It wasn't that great, but I did like the ending. It was kind of funny. Like I don't want to spoilers about the ending, but it's just it's not story related, but it's he rewinds time all the way back, and then to wait when he meets her or whatever, because yada yada. She's trying to to save her father or whatever. Yeah. And it's funny how like he knows who she is because they've had this whole thing, but she doesn't know who he is, so he sneaks a kiss. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And she sort of like punches him or whatever. And then he rewinds back to that. Yeah. He rewinds that so she doesn't remember him like him stealing that kiss. And then he jumps off and runs away. That's
cool.
It was pretty cool.
Oh, so you know what I'm talking about? Shades of Blinks.
But also shades of creepiness, dude. What? He could have never mind.
Oh god.
Well, I'll just rewind it. It reminds me of with too much power comes Kevin Bacon and Hollow Man.
Oh.
What the fuck?
And
so Prince of Persia, it's okay. I don't know if I'm as excited about the new one coming out. I kind of am because it's so fucking beautiful and I like the environmentally stuff.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing with the battle system is kind of ambitious. I don't know why you have no life bar and stuff. I think that's kind of stupid. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. Prince of Persia 1, I think, is a little teensy bit overrated. Because I've been playing a game also this week, Tomb Raider Anniversary, which I think is the much better game.
Agreed. I really, really, really enjoyed playing through Anniversary, which is surprising.
You know what the best part about the Anniversary is? You can go through an entire level, take 2 or 3 hours, and at the end, you get that thing that says, enemies killed, 6. That's how this type of game should be, not enemies killed, 895, which it would be like in Prince of Persia. So
Metal Gear, right?
Tomb Raider Anniversary is much more heavy on Metal Gear. Oh, what you Metal Gear versus another person in Metal Gear. Environmental navigation in Tomb Raider is fucking amazing. Some of those jumps that you do are so breath holding and stuff. But the most frustrating part about that game is, there's a lot of points in this game where I was like, I wish I could rewind here because I am going to do that shit all over again.
Yeah, so I'm about to go straight from playing, after I finish Prince of Persia 2 to playing Tomb Raider Legend. I have a feeling that so many times I'll be like, oh, don't worry, I got this. If I fuck this up, I'm just going to rewind. But I'm going to try it and be like, oh,
the thing about Tomb Raider Legend, because I'm probably going to start that pretty soon too when I finish Anniversary, is that
wait, have you played it?
That game is much more combat heavy, even though the combat is the same and still just as easy. Tomb Raider Anniversary, by the way, is a remake of Tomb Raider 1 in the Tomb Raider Legend engine. So it has all the modernized Lara Croft mechanics that make playing the game a lot easier. But it's still got the pure dungeon crawling and puzzle solving of the first game. I mean, Prince of Persia, there's 3 or 4 puzzles in the entire game. In Tomb Raider, it's in every fucking room, and it's you really got to think, and I love that, and just how hard it is and stuff. But if I could have Tomb Raider with the rewind mechanic, I'd much rather play that than any Prince of Persia game ever, because I don't know. I think another thing about this. Oh, another part about Tomb Raider Legend is I found out the last level is modern day Japan, and instead of crawling through a tomb, you're jumping from buildings and stuff.
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah.
Wait, Tomb Raider Legend?
Tomb Raider Legend. The last level is Modern Japan, which is why I want to play through that now.
That sounds exciting.
But the thing about Tomb Raider is you play, you really think like this is a balls-ass puzzle. I'm going to have to raise the water level, move this block into this spot. And you really think about Tomb Raider 1 and when it came out and just how influential that series is on so many other games. I know like Miyamoto says he really likes the original Tomb Raider a lot, but I never realized like how much Ocarina of Time, even 3D Zelda, kind of took from, which came out in 98, Tomb Raider 96, took from, the Tomb Raider series.
Yeah.
And as far as like, well, I coined a new phrase this week, pungeon crawlers, puzzle dungeons, where like you go into a dungeon and the main focus is sort of on the puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
Pungeon
That's
crawlers.
good. Pungent.
No, not pungent.
I know.
Pungent.
Pungent.
Pungeon crawlers. But yeah, I really, really like that.
How far are you in Anniversary?
I'm on the last area. Everything just became really lava-y.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's really good. And I'm excited about that game. I'm excited about playing through Legend, and I'm excited about Underworld.
I'm very excited. I started a post where I was going to post a trailer and then post some comparisons to the old Tomb Raiders and stuff. I'll probably finish posting that and get it tonight. 'Cause the new trailer looks really beautiful.
I want a remake of Tomb Raider 2 so bad.
Me too, because I've heard that's good, but I really don't think I can go back to
The locales, it's impossible to go back to old Tomb Raiders. They had tank controls back then. So you had to line up everything perfectly before you made a jump. And it was frustrating.
Yeah. Fuck that.
But the best parts about Tomb Raider are when you come into a room, it's big and huge, and you see nothing but a little like pond of water, and you're like, okay, and you just dive off of something, and you just because whatever you're going to end up is going to be through that part of the water, and just that is like, I love that feeling. It's really cool. Yeah,
I'm excited for Underworld.
I'm excited for Underworld. I hope it's good. I hope it kind of goes back to what made Anniversary great.
Yeah.
Anniversaries are a lot harder and longer. Yes, penis. Versus Tomb Raider Legend, which is easier and shorter, and it's less combat heavy. I started Tomb Raider Legend. I already think I killed more guys in that game than I did in Anniversary. I'm like 14 hours into Anniversary.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I hope it takes more of a cue from that game.
Have you seen the new trailer for Underworld?
I've seen it, but again, you only see Laura like crawling on stuff. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really frustrates me that people think Tomb Raider is only worthy of like being remembered as a game that had it was Lara Croft and she had big boobies, but it really was a much more influential game than Lara having big
And it
boobies.
really comes across when it's polished.
People seem to forget that because the series sort of fell off after the second game. But yeah, I want it to come back in a big way, and I want people to care about it. Real quick, a few of the other things. Like I said, I played the Force Unleashed demo. I played a bunch of Red Faction 3 today, and my God, I might pick up this game day one, dude. Like, this, I don't know how big the single player is going to be on this game, but the multiplayer is fun enough in this game to where I think it's worth. You still haven't tried it yet?
Still haven't tried it.
Holy shit, you got it. What do you mean you can't?
Are you sure the beta was closed?
You can't get, no, I play it here, dude.
Oh, okay.
Like, maybe after and like, it's not just me, dude. Chat's loving it. We're just having, it's so fun, just like, seeing a big wall and somebody's in that building and just saying fuck it and taking your hammer and just knocking the wall off and just going through and all the jetpack, all the different packs you get, they're so great. I love getting the fleet foot and like you see like a guy come towards you, he has a hammer and you have the hammer, but he doesn't know you have the fleet foot jetpack on, and all of a sudden you activate it, you just and you can you're become 3 times faster than them and you're flying all over the place and you get to jump on them. It's just I love it.
Sounds exciting.
Expect me to play more of it. I don't know when the beta closes, or if it's just like an online demo, if it's not going to close.
I'll go back and watch some archive footage of it.
You need to play it, buddy.
I'll play it.
One last thing. I played through Streets of Rage 2 all the way to the last boss with my older brother, Brian. We played it online, as online co-op. Pretty good $5 purchase, I'd say. It's a lot of fun. We got all the way to the final boss, and we died, and he was on his less than 1 life bar left, and probably 3 or 4 combos from being dead, and we lost. We died. And we have to do the entire thing over again. But my brother was talking to me in chat today, and he was like, so when are we going to do this again? I was like, what, are you serious? That took a couple hours. Like, shoot, I'm no quitter. So apparently we're going to try to go through it again and finally beat this fucker. I mean, he has a fucking machine gun. It's just so cheap. So, yeah, that's all I've been playing. But expect more of me to finish up some Tomb Raider. Oh, no, one more game that people weren't expecting and a lot of people got frustrated with. I popped in the Game Boy player for the GameCube.
That's right. I remember.
And I'm playing through Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, which is the worst. The worst.
More important.
2D.
The freaking awesome Resident Evil.
The worst 2D. I told everybody I was going to play Resident Evil. Like after I play something scary. I popped in Resident Evil Gaiden from the Game Boy Color. Holy shit.
The music's awesome.
The music's kick-ass. You get to play as Barry.
You are Barry in that game, dude.
God, he's such a host. And when a zombie grabs him, it's like you have like battles where like you see the guys walking around, they'll grab you, and they'll start a battle where it's like a hot shots golf, like kind of like a sports game meter, and you have to stop it in like the right spot to take a shot or to do a slash. But like it's great because when they grab you, Barry like pushes them back, like get off, bitch, and that's when the fight starts. It's awesome. It feels more good. Yeah, it feels more like a Metal Gear game though.
It is sarcasm.
It is because no, you're sneaking around and then like
did anybody get
you try to sneak around the zombie and then they turn around and go and then there's a little like exclamation point in the bottom of the screen and they start da 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 and they start running towards you.
Good, but the best music is the codec music when somebody contacts Barry. It's just kind of like Metal Gear, but yeah, man, it's fucking awesome, dude. Check the archives. There's got to be highlights,
dude.
But no, Harmony of Dissonance. It's me getting ready for Order of Ecclesia. It's the only 2D ever since the release of Symphony of the Night. It's the only Castlevania game that I have yet to beat, and it's kind of long and hard. But
Brad, you're gonna have to talk a little bit more too.
What?
Are you finished with Castlevania?
What?
Because they were talking about the contest you ran for the Soul Calibur thing.
What? We'll talk about that in the community center.
Yeah, but you played Punisher, didn't you?
Yeah, but still. Are we really only 36 minutes in?
Yes. That's a long time, dude.
Usually we're an hour in after we finish what we've been playing.
Really?
Yeah. But, Castlevania, it's good. It looks like dog shit, and it has the worst, fucking music. The music is terrible in this game. And I popped in, Aria of Sorrow, also on the Game Boy Player, just for comparison, and it's it's night and day. It's unbelievable, how much they dropped the ball in Harmony of Dissonance. It's weird. But, some chatters have been helping me get through that, and they expect me to finish it up later this week. Hopefully I'll play it early when not too many people
I
are
just
watching.
remembered. I started playing Parasite Eve.
Okay. Real quick, The Punisher, I started playing that. Kiwis won the contest. I ran a little contest for who can design the best Chris Lightfellow from Suikoden 3 in her civilian clothing. And he gave me a list of games, and I chose Punisher from them. They're all pretty good. Punisher, it's pretty fun. But honestly, I might move on to another game from that list because I know there's some other games on the list that are really good that will be very fun to watch. The thing is, Punisher, it's just so dark. It's hard to see what's going on, and it's like a poor man's Max Payne. The cool thing is there's these execution kills, or there's these quick kills, and he just finds really cool ways to stab his knife through the face or the top of the head of the guys. It's very brutal, and he can dual wield shotguns, which is always a plus. And I love the animation when you have to interrogate somebody and you're just punching them in the face and in the nuts and stuff. It's kind of funny, but the game seems very repetitive, and there's just so many dudes to kill. But I don't know. It's pretty fun. I might move on to one of the other games because he had some other really good games on the list that I think will be fun to watch and more fun to play. Tell us about fucking Parasite Eve, because
I'm liking it.
How did you just play one time and now go back to it again?
I played twice.
Okay.
But I just got caught up playing Portal and Prince of Persia.
Okay, fair enough. How far?
About 2 hours in. I mean...
Where are you? Have you gotten to the zoo yet?
No.
Ah, fuck, you're nowhere.
I know.
You're nowhere!
I'm just saying, I'm not going to have a problem with the graphics. Amazingly.
Okay.
I'm actually...
Pretty jarring at first,
to be fun? Yeah, pretty jarring. She has no face! She's a block. That's all she is.
The battle system's awesome, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the battle system. It took me...
You're going to start upgrading weapons and stuff.
It looks more confusing than I thought than it really is. It's deceptively simple.
The game will get tough.
Get tougher?
So you're going to have to really be upgrading your weapons and stuff. But
I like it. I really like the opening sequence where you're in the opera house. Really cool.
Back in the day, you cannot imagine how awesome that looked. Really terrifying. The first time you see the skin peel off that rat, back in 97 or whatever, or 98, it's holy shit. But
I'm
very cinematic too.
Which is
back in the day, it was so cinematic.
And Aya is hot, even for a blocky girl.
She's like 4 polygons, but damn, that's some fine-ass polygons.
Finest polygons I've ever seen. I really want to see next generation.
I do. So, oh, well, you're going to get that, so we'll talk about that later.
But I'm sorry, Brad. I'm fairly positive I'm going to pick up both Parasite Eves and play through both of them.
Both of them?
Parasite Eve 1 and 2.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm soft on the second one now ever since... Well, let's move on to the news.
Okay, well...
Because we're going to be talking about Parasite Eve in our new segment.
Okay,
which,
so
you know,
do you want me to just go down the ones I had first and then we'll...
No, fuck it. Let's talk about Parasite Eve now.
Alright, well, Parasite Eve 3, or
Parasite
third
Eve
birthday...
confirmed to be a pure third-person shooter. They said even more of a shooter than Dirge of Cerberus. They're like, no. We're going to be more of a shooter than Dirge of Cerberus. We're going to do it better. And fuck it, I don't give a shit. Die in a fire.
I know. I want to see gameplay though.
What is it? It's on the PSP.
I know, but dude, I was really...
Shooters suck on the PSP.
I know.
It's Parasite Eve.
I was really shy. I was at first very much against Crisis Core because I didn't think the style... I didn't think it fit. I don't think it was going to work. But I was pleasantly surprised. I have faith in Square Enix. I want to see what they do with it.
This better be a diversion. You know what? I might still buy it though. Because I want people to I want them to make a new Parasite Eve, and I want people to buy this game.
Me too.
Because I don't... fuck, Square Enix. I hear there's going to be like an online... It's going to be like sort of Monster Hunter-y. With like, it's online. And they're just doing that to sell fucking copies, because Japan's out of their fucking mind with Monster Hunter.
You know, the only game I saw in China was Monster Hunter.
Parasite Eve 1 is a good game. It's a really, really good game. And it was a departure. It was like a cinematic horror RPG.
So what made Parasite Eve 2 so terrible?
It's a Resident Evil clone.
So?
That's not what Parasite Eve is!
Is it really like, there's no like RPG elements, the battle system's totally different, or what? Like,
I mean, it's all real. I mean, it's all like, you see something and you shoot. I mean, there's a little bit more like depth to like...
So it's like a third-person shooter?
No, it's like a Resident Evil type game. Like a survival horror.
Oh, okay.
But like, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a beautiful cinematic RPG. Horror RPG, I mean. So yeah. You. And more fuck yous of the week go to Konami with announcing the next big sequel to Suikoden is going to be on the DS.
Dude, I saw your fucking blog. That was funny. I was like, what is that title? And I would scroll down. I was like, oh, he's pissed.
Yeah.
I was like,
Twix. That's just, when I get really enraged, I sometimes yell Twix at the top of my lungs.
No way, really?
Instead of Khan, like some Star Trek nerds. Yeah. So Suikoden is coming to the DS. Whatever. I'm going to get it, I guess.
Wasn't there another fuck you had on there?
Yeah. Konami for Lords of Shadow. Which is, I don't know if y'all seen the cinematic trailer, the intro or whatever.
Yeah.
Where like they have a little trailer.
I didn't see it.
You play a dude with like crosses on him or something. He's somewhat like, I guess, part of some religious thing or whatever. He's like basically a religious warrior, if you will.
Wait, what system is this on?
The PS3 and Xbox 360. It's an action-adventure game. A 3D action-adventure game. And you're a dude who fights with a whip. And it's Lords of Shadow. No! Fuck Castlevania! Let's make that a Wii fighting game. Where... Instead, let's make our big foray into 3D action-adventure on a real console some other fucking IP about a dude with a whip.
I like that.
They couldn't just throw Castlevania onto the top, hire Ayami Kojima to make some badass fucking artwork and call it a day? Like, seriously?
I like this blog where he's like, just fucking call it Castlevania, let him fight Dracula, god damn it.
Seriously! You know, if this IP catches on, while Castlevania just sort of fades into like, you know, whatever it already fucking is, just something that's relegated to handheld, you know, remakes over and over again, I'm gonna be pissed. Because like, if this is gonna be a big budget like 3D action adventure title, why is it not Castlevania? This is Konami, right?
I'm gonna watch this trailer now because that sounds fucking fun.
He has a whip.
Yes.
No, you don't understand. I was like looking. I was like, oh, so he has a sword. And no, I saw the whip. Well,
Brad.
Okay, so Namco Bandai, or I'm gonna leave off Namco from now on and just call them Bandai.
You might as well.
Yeah. No more Namco in there. Tales of Vesperia coming out this month. You excited?
I'm not gonna buy it.
Why not? Is it because you're not really gonna have enough time to play something like that?
Partially.
Not enough time to like grind levels and to get so you can survive in the next dungeon. Well, it doesn't fucking matter because you can buy level ups.
I know.
You can purchase level ups
For $1 or what?
for $1.25 a level. $1.25.
What is
100 points for a level.
What is this world coming to?
Anybody who when I didn't think Namco could get any fucking worse, they do something like this?
You know what?
How far?
Anyone who comes in to buy Microsoft points from me, I'm gonna be like, I'll sell this to you only if you promise me not to buy levels in Tales of Vesperia. If anyone comes in and buys Tales of Vesperia with Microsoft point card, I'm gonna be like, no. You know what? Fuck it. David, you do it.
There's a cap. There's a cap, right? There's gonna be a cap. You can't like buy it.
No, you can even buy them in packs of 10.
If they're getting,
you can buy packs of 5 levels.
Like, you can't just max your level out of 99 at the beginning of the game.
If there's money, if they're making money, there ain't no cap. There couldn't be a cap.
They nickeled and dimed the shit out of all of their franchises. You know?
But in Idol Masters, it's okay.
That is
No,
the
it's
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I'm worried about the outfits. I was telling David this earlier. I'm worried because some of the best like side quests are to get all the really cool outfits in these Tales games. They're probably just gonna like shred that shit out of the damn game and make you purchase them, which is fucking tragic.
Agreed.
I wanted to fucking. Okay. Fine.
I have some news.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I have well, it's.
Oh, I don't.
Well, the big one I want to mention. I guess you're about to mention.
Yes.
Real quick, hit up your Sony stuff.
Hit up.
How do you say it? Leipzig? Leipzig?
It's actually just called Games Convention.
Alright. Let's call it the Games Convention in
But it's
Germany.
in Leipzig or something. Or
It's called Leipzig or whatever. But Sony had a big announcement. They announced a new PSP model, the PSP 3000.
much brighter screen. Did you see? Oh, they're looking at it right now, dude.
Much brighter, cleaner
It
screen.
fucking pisses me off too
Yeah.
because all you're gonna have to do is see it once, and it's like with the first DS. Well, this is plenty bright. It's fine. And then you see the DS Lite, and you're like, fuck. You know, because it's that much brighter, and you can never fucking go back.
No, maybe I shouldn't look. Fucking balls.
And then it's like you see the new one, and you're like, fucking A, I had the gimped one, you know. And it's
I know I'm gonna end up fucking buying this.
It's
But
annoying.
well, they could have just done that to begin with.
They have a built-in mic too, which like if you really get into some of these online games that they have, like maybe like say like Phantasy Star Online or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to have that built-in, and it's coming Skype ready, which is cool too because you know.
Skype. Good. But they also
You don't have
announced
to set it up on your PC.
a new PS3 bundle, 160 gigabyte PS3 that will be packaged with Uncharted and a DualShock 2 controller for $499.99 in the US. It's supposed to come out in November.
It's a good game to come with it, but I don't know why they're not doing Metal Gear Solid 4 anymore. Was that like a limited time bundle?
I guess so.
Because Metal Gear Solid 4 was a great fucking bundle game, but
So,
I mean Uncharted's good too.
I
but
want this
that's not a
$160
$60
hard
game
drive.
anymore, is it?
I want this 160 gig hard drive.
Why? Is 80 gig not big enough for you?
I have a 60 gig.
By the way, yeah, 160 gig they phased out. It's still no backwards compatibility. It's like
Same thing with the 80s.
Wait, what? What did you say?
there's no
The new
backwards compatibility.
PS3s
It's not even
still have
software
backwards.
backwards compatible.
Even in this one?
The new
Yeah.
PS3s are still on.
Which is fine. I mean, from what it looks like is that they were like, oh, we'll just do software backwards compatibility because that's not going to cost us a whole bunch more money. But I think it was just too glitchy. There was too many problems with too many games, too many big games that they just said fuck it. But you know, whatever. I mean,
I'll just stick with my PS3 I have.
honestly, like what you're getting now is like with that much space, you know, especially like I don't know if you have this in the news, but Burnout Paradise. They're releasing the full version of that game for download on PS3 for $30, which is new because they've done like online only games and stuff before.
And
This Siren is kind of a unique thing, but to actually later on like add a full game for download,
yeah.
which is pretty much a sign of the future.
This whole like 160 gig thing, like increasing the hard drive space, that
It helps or something like that. It makes well, of course I download the game. That's no big deal. I have 160 fucking gigs. So really, that's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. It just sucks if you've already played Uncharted.
Yeah, which I have. Kind of sucks.
How much is that game now, by the way?
It's still pretty high. I think it's still at least 50.
It's so crazy.
It's just Metal Gear Solid. I don't know why they didn't keep Metal Gear Solid with it. Because that is a system seller, and I don't know why.
It's because it's cheaper to buy it separately now.
Also,
what? Cheaper. You can get an 80 gig for $400, and then it comes with the DualShock, and then you get a Metal Gear for $60.
Oh, that's right, because they come with the DualShock.
yeah, it comes with DualShock.
I don't know about the backward compatibility or whatever, but
What else?
Also, Project Origin a couple days ago was delayed. Quarter 1 of 2009.
This would have probably been on my list.
Did they give a reason for why they delayed it?
Fucking no.
No.
Well, we'll talk about that because it could have been in our discussion topic because it'll be a variety. It could have been a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah, what the hell, dude? Like, I thought that game was like pretty nearly done.
I'll be on. Yeah.
And like, I've been hearing so many good things where like people have been really surprised about it at these shows and just like how good it looks, how much fun it is.
Though, I'm kind of relieved because
It-
that's
yeah.
$60 less I have to spend.
It's like last year. It's like last fall, where like it was actually kind of a sigh of relief hearing some of these games like Smash Brothers and GTA get delayed because it's like, whoa, that's one less thing I have to worry about buying and stuff.
Let's not kid ourselves here. My hands are gonna be full this fall with other games to play. So to be honest, like
Yeah. You know what?
Project
That's
Origin and Resident Evil 5.
Project Origin,
it'll
Fallout 3. When all that stuff gets delayed, it'll give us some breathing room for some of the other
Exactly.
games.
Also, I wanted to mention this because I think it's hilarious, and I'm gonna test it out. But we talked recently about Alone in the Dark, and how shitty it was in terms of like it's.
we don't know anything about this.
Well, Eden Games, the
They're
developer,
going to patch the shittiness out of it.
no, the PS3 version
Okay.
that they were developing, they said they've addressed all the problems that were made, apparent to them.
No, you
Include-
shouldn't. You can't do all the problems. You have to do like
Quote,
all the problems.
All the problems. All right. Okay.
All the
Things like the fact that now you don't have to change the batteries in the flashlight. When you go into your inventory screen, the game will now be paused, so you won't be like attacked, butt-fucked by enemies while you're trying to change things. Graphical issues, camera issues, control issues. They said it's all going to be different. It's all going to be better.
Okay.
Is this something?
Here's
we
my
see in the
opinion on
future?
this, though. If all the improvements can be for the PS3 version can be upgraded in a patch for the 360 version, then it's not. It's still gonna have issues.
It's still going to have issues. I'm going to download the patch and I'm going to test it out and see if it really does control
Play through
better.
the whole game, Nick.
Because
Do it.
No, fuck that.
Do it.
No, fuck that.
Would you change your review for it?
No, but
It didn't help layer. That's
I know.
for
But
sure.
I'm gonna be pretty amazed if the PS3 version of this game comes out and it gets like 1 or 2 points higher from most reviewers.
No, because-
I'm wondering, like, could this happen in the future where like it becomes something where it's like common practice to be like
To release a game,
release a game early. And
Well,
then,
we'll talk about
let's
that
fix
later,
this up.
too.
Let's fix this up.
I think you're seeing that more and
Maybe
more
even
often.
release it later.
No,
I'm still curious if
I
they're
think
going to
this
do a
is
patch
just
for Soul Calibur 4.
I think this is just a result of them realizing they had a shitty game out and wanted to, improve on it because they're ashamed of themselves.
Kind of fucks over the 360.
Yeah, so the game sold pretty
guys.
well, and I think they reported pretty good annual sales or annual numbers.
I don't doubt it. They had a pretty strong marketing campaign behind
Yeah.
it.
So that's all I had
For news, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I mean, I want to mention I think the new Heavy Rain footage has been getting a lot of buzz because
I'm really excited.
people have really been waiting to see what the hell that game was going to be like, and they finally showed some gameplay at Leipzig.
Yeah, little skeptical about the quick time event.
Well, I like how it's like integrated, sort of. Like you saw the guy was about to stab him. You actually saw the circle like in his hand as he was sort of coming down.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, like it's sort of positioned around the environment and like moving around. So it's sort of like a step further for like those quick time events. Did you see that? Like as he was sort of moving his hand down, there was a circle.
Oh,
and then when
okay,
you press it, she sort of rolls out of the way.
Yeah.
And, like different objects in the environment, like have the buttons on them. So I mean,
It looks intense. I want to see more of it, obviously, before I decide if I can get it or not. But what is that?
Enough of that.
browsing the.
I saw some cosplay and I got distracted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I also wanted to mention that I saw some footage of the new Far Cry 2 map editor.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's news, but holy shit, that kind of blew me away. Just like how you can actually have free reign over just everything, like the mountains and stuff. It's like these environments that are so huge and even alter the weather and stuff. It looks really cool. Special note though, that guy's voice in that video. Did you watch it?
No.
He sounds like a fucking cult leader, dude. It's bizarre. It's like the only thing separating from you and heaven is your imagination. it just sounds. I'm serious. It just sounds so creepy.
Wow.
But it was funny. So yeah, check out that video of the Far Cry 2 map editor. So yeah,
cool. That's all I have.
Oh, I keep forgetting I'm hosting here.
Yeah. It's like it's a pause, the silence, everyone looking at me like, oh my god, what the hell's going on?
Earlier I was like, when is Nick gonna move on to the news?
Oh god.
So yeah, sort of tying into our, what happened with Project Origin and some of the beef I've had over like a certain specific title.
You actually use that word, beef?
Whatever.
He does now.
This is sort of tying in. It's sort of how we came up with our roundtable discussion topic for today, and we're going to be talking about games, delayed games. Especially around this time of the year where the fall gets really cluttered. You always look at your little release dates, and November 15th, it always seems like there's 42 games coming out, and you're like, wait, that's not, can't be right. And it never is, because most of the time a lot of those games get delayed. We'll probably talk about why some of these games get delayed, and maybe go around the table and we'll each selectively and cruelly pick out the games that we think aren't going to make it this fall. So So I mean, first of all, just on the topic of Project Origin, why do you think that game got delayed? I mean, do you honestly think it's because the game wasn't finished?
Any game.
I haven't been following it for very long, so I'm not good for sure how long it's been in development.
By the way, Project Origin is the official sequel to Fear by Monolith, which apparently they were still going to work on a not official sequel to Fear, a Fear 2. But wasn't that Sierra? So with the whole merger and stuff, that's probably lost IP.
I doubt we'll ever see it.
Yeah, I doubt we'll ever see it. But Project Origin does look good. I really liked Fear, and it's not coming.
I think they've been upping their. They have really high expectations now in terms of quality coming out of their studio and stuff. So maybe they just want to make sure it has the extra coat of paint on it, or I don't know.
Maybe. Do you think that the hell is it? You just what's out there?
This is my reserve list I'm used to determine what games I think are going to be pushed back.
Okay, well, so I mean, the other possible thing that could have happened to this game is that it could have been pushed back because politics or just concerns about the stuff coming out this fall. I mean, if you look at Killzone 2, which was slated to come out this fall, you saw it got pushed back, and a lot of the speculation is that Sony pushed it back because they wanted to focus more of the focus on Resistance 2
and SOCOM.
SOCOM is a multiplayer, but Resistance 2 was going to be the big AAA shooter to compete against,
I think Sony
Gears of War or whatever. And I don't think they wanted it to be cluttered. I don't think they wanted their fans to have to choose between Resistance or Killzone. They wanted some breathing room.
I think Sony actually made an official statement saying they pushed it back because they don't want to have to compete with other.
Resistance.
So it's a spacing thing.
Yeah, but
it's a spacing thing, and that happens sometimes. And I think it happened with. It happens with it's happened with a lot of games. I wonder if Bionic Commando maybe they don't want to kind of interfere with Dark Void or something like that, because I know Capcom and even Street Fighter is having a pretty big fall season.
Well, do you think? Well, this obviously hurts them a little bit, game sales. For the individual game itself, right?
Well, I mean,
because
you could say that,
always
but
people look at holidays. But the holidays, a lot of people just pick up crap for whatever.
Yeah, I mean, holidays are obviously where the best sales are, but you look at some of these games that end up getting pushed back to the beginning of the year, and they still end up selling pretty well. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 wasn't the beginning of the year, but it was sort of early summer, and that's not the holiday, but it still ended up selling extremely well. I mean, I don't know. It really depends. I think it could be any number of factors. You've seen other games in the past, like The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. I so strongly believe it, but that was a game that was pushed back. It was delayed just so they can, finish up the Wii version and shoehorn in some Wii mode functionality so they could release those at the same time.
You're not making a Wii version?
It wasn't released at the same time.
It wasn't released at the same time. They actually decided to. That was so fucking dirty. Why did they do that?
To sell more Wii copies. Thought we had gone over this before.
They actually ended up delaying the GameCube Twilight Princess an extra month after the Wii version so they could sell Wii's. Because I think back then they still thought that the Wii, they didn't know how the Wii was going to sell, you know? So that was always kind of funny. Little did they know that they were going to, you know, be working on some really awesome AAA titles at first, like Metroid and Mario and Zelda, and ended up with a console full of shitty mini games with nothing else to play.
Mini games.
Mini games.
Yeah. I'm all sad. What are we talking about?
Game delays.
Game delays. So, I've been talking on the. Fallout 3 is supposedly coming out in October. So it's Fable, but specifically Fallout 3. Everybody's been saying that they can't wait to play Fallout 3. Yeah, I've just been pretty straight with them and saying that I seriously don't think this game is coming out in October or even this year. And I've been getting a lot of shit from people like, dude, the date's been confirmed. What's your problem, man? I don't understand why. It seems like it happens every year. It gets to this point, and people are very skeptical of game delays, even though it happens all the time to so many games, especially in the fall.
And people always think it's a bad thing.
People always think it's a bad thing, which there's a question there that maybe we'll answer in a second whether it's a good
thing. The bad thing is
it's bad
announcing the
they
game
don't get to play
before you. Like if they know that it's not going to make the date, sometimes they'll do it to keep people in people's minds and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like a movie. Freaking. We all knew freaking they were making a sixth Harry Potter movie, and it's almost done or whatever, and they pushed it back 8 months.
Really?
Yeah, it's coming out next summer now instead of November.
Sometimes these delays though they can be for the worse. I mean, oftentimes what you'll see is a game get pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and when you see the early footage of this game, you're like, wow, this is the most amazing looking game I've ever seen. This happens a lot.
Dark Sector.
Dark Sector. Well, that game you barely saw any of it early on, but I mean, I want to say something like maybe Stalker's not the best example because that game so ended up looking really good, but Stalker visually when it first was shown, people were like, wow, this is visually the most amazing thing, and it got delayed and delayed and delayed, and by the time it came out, it was it didn't look bad, but there were so many games like that it had already come out that have just surpassed it in terms of visuals, and I think you might see that happen when games get pushed back and pushed back. Like Oblivion, the first time I saw Oblivion footage, it was like, holy shit, look at this forest, this is amazing. But then it got delayed over and over again. By the time it came out, I was like, this is pretty good, but it kind of looks iffy in areas.
Yeah.
So if you see a game like Project Origin get delayed over and over again, all of a sudden, the game starts to look kind of iffy.
I think primarily games that get pushed back from a fall release window, primarily getting pushed back for the sake of losing. They don't want to lose sales because of other obvious AAA titles that are coming out.
And you see games that probably should have been delayed but aren't and end up suffering because of it. Time Shift is a good example, which actually came out last fall. And there's so many fucking good shooters, and it was just swamp. I mean, it couldn't do anything really. I mean, it suffered because of it. And the thing is, Time Shift, from what I understand, is a pretty decent game to pretty quality game in certain respects, and if it were delayed to the beginning of the year, back when just stuff like Devil May Cry was coming out and Burnout was coming out, it might have benefited from having a shooter around that time.
I'm also noticing that Far Cry 2 was supposed to come out around the same time as Project Origin was originally supposed to come out.
Yeah, Far Cry 2 looks pretty.
Far Cry 2 looks like some pretty big competition.
So as far as Project Origin goes, I think it could be something pretty tactful.
The thing about
it's not a huge delay. It's just it's a couple months.
So on Fallout 3, just because I was talking about that a second ago, one, Bethesda has a history of delaying their games until they get them right, until they get them good. And even then, they come out pretty bug ridden.
Yeah.
But that's just because their games are so expansive and there's so much you can do. Of course,
it's hard to get rid of so many problems.
Exactly. But the thing is these delays happen all the time. We haven't seen a ton of footage until pretty recently about Fallout 3. Honestly, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. E3 was the first time you really saw
that was the first gameplay I'd ever seen.
The first time they showed it to the public. Now they did have some vault sequences early on that they've been showing for a while now behind closed doors. But the bottom line is the game looks like it could use a little polish in certain areas. I noticed certain problems with AI and stuff and various issues, but it's Bethesda. I mean, we haven't seen so much of this game, and another game that's coming out, which is a pretty big RPG, I think in the same week, is Fable 2. Which is, if it's not the same week, it's like the week right before or the week right after.
It's the week before it. Because Fable 2 is 21st. And
late October, right?
Yeah.
For
21st for Fable, 28th for Fallout. Right?
So honestly, I could see like one of those games. I think is going to.
The fact that they have been given street dates though to retailers, kind of, I don't. It's not really a confirmation.
What does street dates mean?
It basically means that you're going to receive the game a couple days early, but you can't sell it.
Okay. Well, it's just
like they have a
Fallout in Fable.
Smash Brothers had like a street date last year. And
you never really get.
I mean, it's not really a confirmation.
Wasn't Grand Theft Auto pretty damn close before they announced the delay?
Yeah.
It's about a couple months out, I think.
But that was kind of a weird circumstance because they realized they were having a bunch of problems with it.
That's what I'm saying. These games, like, they have problems, and Fable and Fallout it's a very similar audience.
You know what's kind of
a similar audience.
You know what's kind of scary is that like, no matter what, a game can always be delayed because I'm sure there's always stuff they'd like to fix. You know, I wonder how many of these games come out like not with everybody kind of like, oh, that's the perfect game we wanted to put out. It's like, oh, we have to get it out by this time because publishers say so or whatever.
Yeah, True Human looks like it could have been delayed again, even though it's been in development for so damn long. But that was probably a game where it's like, just get the fucking game out, dude. I don't want your stupid game interfering with like the rest of our, fall lineup. So it needs to be done. But
now we can move on and do other things.
Honestly, though, True Human probably if it came out any later, closer to the fall lineup, it probably would have done even
just
more.
got swallowed in. I mean, it's selling not bad.
I think it sold pretty decently.
But that's only because it's kind of we're starved for games right a little bit. Right? There's like end of summer. There's kind of like
a lot of the best stuff in August has been like on the downloadable side, and yeah. So what was the other thing I wanted to mention? But before we move on and like pick out our games, as far as delays go,
first of all, let me just say, like, every day, like, just working in retail, and people were like, I had this guy go down this list today of stuff. He was like, oh, you know when that game's coming out? I was like, last time I checked, it was coming out in like October. I was like, February, and he's like, what? No, and he was so disappointed. It was just like, this is kind of a hobby or whatever you want to call it that you just kind of have to kind of learn to accept that this is just a part of the way things work, and there's going to be delays. A date that's given early is never the official date. And it's most of the time not a bad thing.
You know what I'm a little worried about?
What?
I'm a little worried about Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I don't think that franchise is strong enough to survive up against shit like Gears of War and all the other crazy stuff that's coming out.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a perfect game to release, early, like maybe like March, like February or March of next year.
And they might push it back. I mean that's one game that I was actually going to predict might get shoved to a later date. Because it's apparently the thing to do this fall.
So, God, I had a thought and I just completely blanked on it. But go ahead, Nick. What is your, which game do you think is going to get delayed?
Which one or which ones?
What are you putting your money on?
Oh,
shit.
What?
Sorry, I remember what it is. It's what's his name? Blue Fabbit brought up. Mm-hmm. Like I saw him bring up on the feed, and I told him we could tie it into like what we're talking about with delays here, and it ties into what David's saying about just having publishers just telling them just to get the game out, like just to because we want to hit this date where they don't want it delayed, and that's the whole like kind of patching of like unfinished products.
Yeah.
Of like the trend of games coming out that are really sloppy and unfinished, like maybe Alone in the Dark, and just worrying about.
But then again, that didn't really come out during a release window that was like full of AAA titles. Like they didn't just.
Yeah, but again, it's Atari, which has been really like struggling to just for financial reasons. They might have wanted to push it out before the end of like whatever the second quarter was or the third quarter or whatever. And I think I don't know. I mean, would you rather see like a game delayed for like an extended period of time or just because the old like whatever like saying was I'd rather a game that's a game that's delayed, you only have to wait to play it, but a game that's kind of put out before it's done is shitty forever or whatever.
Yeah, Miyamoto's famous for
it.
Yeah. So yeah, a game that's put out unfinished is shitty forever, and then a game that's delayed, you just have to wait.
Now with like that's the
but now with the whole patching thing, that's not necessarily the case anymore, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's true.
But
I
you know,
think
like
most
with
develop-
Alone in the Dark though, like yeah, it's nice it's being patched, but all the people that were really excited about that game, like Nick here, have already played through it, and they shouldn't have to play through it again to play the game the way it should be played.
Yeah,
You know,
agree.
The way it could have been.
the way it could have been played. So,
Yeah, definitely agree with you there.
although I do think in games like Soul Calibur or whatever, a fighting game, especially if it doesn't have an arcade version, I think this patching is a welcome, like,
Right.
I think there are
Because then
certain,
people play it, they find
Yeah,
out what's
exactly.
cheap.
I mean, there are certain developers that I think are just not afraid to delay a game. I mean, some developers might be okay with, you know, releasing a okay product and then patching it later.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there are some like AAA developers that will not release a game until they're satisfied with it. I mean, like Lionhead, Bethesda,
Yeah.
Square Enix, just, you know, have a much higher quality standard than some other of these smaller developers.
Now, with the exception of Capcom, I've lost so much faith in like a lot of Japanese developers. What the hell's going on?
I can see you were pretty pissed this week.
Capcom. I love Capcom.
Capcom.
I've always loved Capcom.
But
Except for the Capcom 5, but we'll let that slide.
But remember we had this discussion where the Capcom 5 ended up being a bunch of really good games, except like one.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh wait, Resident Evil 4.
No, I'm talking
Oh,
about
wait.
exclusivity. Exclusivity to GameCube.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, so what did you say? You think it's going to be delayed?
I was gonna say,
Or what do you think? Maybe what should be delayed? Like that might be the better question. Like
be
what
delayed.
do you think would be best to like get out of the craziness that is this fall?
I really want them to focus on Dead Space. If they have to push that back to make sure it's a good
That's
game.
Dead Space isn't coming out because Resident Evil is coming out next year, and I think this is a good game to like whet people's appetite. The rabid Resident Evil fans, I think it is a good fit.
I know. It's a good fit for the fall, but if it's not ready to come out, I don't want them to just put it out. Even if it means missing the fall holiday season and missing the Halloween date they're aiming for, I really don't want them to fuck this up again. I'm really, I'm gaining trust back in EA, and I really want them to do well with this game. Let's see, what else? Like we mentioned earlier, Tomb Raider might be a good one to push back to a later date. And I was also thinking about, if I had to pick between Project Origin and Far Cry 2, which one I thought was going to be pushed back, I was expecting Far Cry 2 to be pushed back.
Yeah.
Just because I remember looking at the game just a couple months ago saying, oh, that looks awesome, that's going to be a while before I play that. And then all of a sudden it's coming out in October.
Project Origin's been in development for a long time.
Yeah,
too,
so-
I'm surprised.
So I'm really surprised that it was the other way around.
What about Last Remnant? Is that really coming out this fall?
Yes, for the 360.
Like in America?
But I'm getting it I'm going to wait for the PS3 version.
Maybe
it'll be a better
Wait,
game.
why?
But I'd rather play RPGs on the PS3.
But it's so like hands off though. Like what controller does it? What matters?
It's a Square Enix game.
And
Square
it'll be-
Enix is a PS.
And it'll be on
PlayStation.
It'll be on one disc.
I just don't believe the controller argument.
And they
Again, like,
they
an
recently
RPG.
announced that Infinite Undiscovery, I think, is going to be on 2 discs.
That's another game.
PS3
Like, coming out so
version.
close to Tales of Vesperia. Like, how a new Japanese RPG IP going up against a proven one? What do they think? I don't know. But
And I think they might even push back Spider-Man Rogue Shadows. I don't know, just because it looks the gameplay looks solid, but I think that some of the actual like the way like the look of the game looks a little bit like it needs some work. But
well,
I don't know. That's kind of
as far as a game that I think is going to be pushed back, and then maybe a game that I think I want to be pushed back, the one I think maybe should be pushed back is a Mirror's Edge.
yeah.
We really haven't seen too much variety in like what's going on there with that game. Maybe I think the game could use maybe a little more polish
Maybe
because it's pretty ambitious, and I want them to take as much time as they can
Agreed.
to sort of refine it.
Maybe
you
they should
know.
take a month or so off to add some reflection in the windows.
No, I saw in the most recent footage they did have that.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's just I don't know. It's a very ambitious game. I don't want it to feel like a one-trick pony, like say something like Assassin's Creed. I don't want it to get too repetitive, or rely on it's one cool trick. And
Yeah.
I think it's a game that could benefit from having more time under the burner. The game that I think maybe should be pushed back, just for the sake of it doing well, is I guess like I said, Tomb Raider Underworld. I just all of a sudden really got back into Tomb Raider lately. And, I haven't been a fan since the early PS1 days, and
I think it'd be really nice. I think
I'm sort of loving it again. I'm worried about the game if it comes out this far.
I want it to sell well, and I don't think it's going to sell well if it hits in November. I'm going to still buy it, though.
I think I am, too. So,
not to mention, God, it's going to be... Never mind.
Oh, well, so real quick before, David, you give yours. Another game that I think was completed, pretty much, or a game that could have come out for consoles, is Tekken 6. I think that was a delay that they purposely made for the sake of Soul Calibur 4. Mm-hmm. Because that's a game that not only already had an arcade version out, but if you look back on like Tekken 5 for consoles came out pretty quickly after the arcade release, just like a few months.
It may have hurt the arcade.
Yeah. So but obviously they don't care about that anymore because they didn't even release the arcade over here. Also, so this is like a full year after the Japanese arcade. They probably could have gotten it out to consoles if they wanted to. I think it was a strategic delay.
Also, I hate to say this. I really hope I'm wrong. But, just because of their track record and their, constant quality they've had in other games, Left 4 Dead.
That's actually my pick.
I'm worried too.
My pick is Left 4 Dead.
But you think it's going to be, or you think it should be? Or
I have
are you
a
worried
feeling
about it?
I wouldn't be surprised.
But then again,
if
I
it
would
was
much
delayed,
rather than wait a little bit longer and get
it's
it
valid though.
perfect.
So if it's not ready to go, they don't give a shit about delaying it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, which
That's
is
the
great.
whole
Which is
point.
great. So that's why I think,
especially as a 4-player and online, they're going to want to make sure it's
which is
runs
perfect,
smooth and the experience is good.
Have people played it like online versions? Because it sounds like at trade events they could have all just been System Link or whatever.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to run it online.
A lot of dynamic AI going on there. It could cause some lag,
So I don't know.
What about
What?
Are we just talking about specifically stuff that has dates, or are we just saying regular?
Why? What are you thinking of?
I'm just like Rygar is going to get delayed and
Rygar
PlayStation Home.
for the Wii.
Yeah.
Do you see this?
Does that really still exist?
Yeah, there's a Rygar game for the Wii. Fourth quarter is supposed to come out this year.
Oh my
I don't
God.
think that's
I've been kind of watching that game.
The
Wii
people need something.
Yeah.
But
Give
Rygar,
them something.
Rygar.
Anything.
but the thing is,
Tecmo's
Rygar.
dead.
The thing is, did you hear?
The Tecmo
President resigned.
Yeah. It's over for Tecmo, dude. Watch. Tecmo's not
Fuck it, man. They might get Itagaki back.
next summer. Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was the president that Itagaki had shit, or
Just get
Yeah,
Fingerprint 4 out. That's all I care about.
I don't know what's going on with Tecmo.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if next summer Tecmo didn't exist.
Itagaki was the only thing, Team Ninja was the only thing that was sort of keeping that franchise afloat, I think. I mean, that publisher afloat. So, we'll see. But, yeah, delays. It's a part of every day.
It's part of gaming life.
Part of gaming life. Don't bitch, because if you really think about it, it could help the game, and it saves it less strain on your pocketbooks.
Yeah.
Especially in the fall.
We've seen far too many games been canceled.
Yeah.
It's way too long.
It's nothing. My list would be twice as long as I'd make if I had the money for it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to have the money for it.
Bring it.
So you know what? Let's move on to the community segment, because there's a couple things we need to talk about as far as things coming up this week. Maybe I don't know. And we're going to take some viewer questions, because that's what we do in our community segment. So as far as next week goes, you want to officially announce it here? Last week, 2 weeks ago was Time Week.
Oh, yeah. 2 weeks ago was Time Week, which was kind of black. We're going to have to rewind that sometime and make it better.
Yeah.
We kind of lost track of time.
This week, motherfucking co-op week.
Motherfucking co-op.
That's right, kids.
You want to play with some Splinter Cell Chaos Theory?
Sure. Fuck. You heard it on the
Wait,
feed.
it has online co-op, right?
Online co-op, Splinter Cell. Well, we played off the 360 or we played it off the...
I only have a 360, so it's going to have to work.
Oh, boo!
Sorry, bitch.
Boo! You know we tried to do that, right? When I had a 360 and he only had an Xbox. We tried to system link it, it wouldn't work. Damn, that's going to suck, but sure. Chaos Theory. Fucking amazing.
Some of the shit you can expect on co-op week. Have we discussed this?
Wait, when will we play it?
Tomorrow?
Can we talk about maybe?
Well, I don't know. My girlfriend
Plans
may be at my house tomorrow night, so maybe afternoon.
I got work.
All right,
I
guys.
guess tomorrow.
Sometime next week, expect some Splinter Cell. Chaos Theory.
Brad and I are going to finish Bionic Commando.
Finish Bionic Commando. We might go through Turtles in Time. You might see me and my brother.
Go through Turtles in Time?
You might see me and my brother try to go through Streets of Rage again, online co-op. And this Wednesday coming out is Castle Crashers. And I haven't gotten the confirmation yet if you're going to be able to do local and online co-op. Because if so, me and David are going to play the game, and we're going to play with maybe 2 other people from the community. I don't think Nick's going to pick it up. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that game.
We might pick up some more Pixel Jump, too.
Also, we're thinking about some other surprises, co-op games.
Oh, yeah. Echo the Dolphin.
What?
I told everyone I was playing Echo the Dolphin for Time Week, and I didn't even pick it up. I felt so bad.
Nobody.
But it was fucking hilarious as hell. You're like 88 nautical miles per hour.
Nobody wants to.
Oh, come on. With a shark chasing you around.
So, yeah. Well, that was crazy.
Might as well play Jaws Unleashed.
What? What are you talking about? The game's not co-op. So, yeah, expect to see some more co-op games this week. And like I said, we might have some surprises if we can find a copy of the game. Yeah. Also, expect this week, I'm probably going to play through some more Punisher if I don't move on to the next game that was part of that contest. Again, Kiwis gave me a short list of games, and there's some others that I might decide to move on to. I'll give Punisher another try again.
Oh, your button on your laptop.
It came off.
You popped that off recently?
It still works. No, it just kind of popped off. Yeah. So, anything else y'all have planned for this week?
Maybe not.
Maybe Nick will grace us with his presence and mess around on Red Faction a little bit.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I'll do that.
The fans, the community really likes it.
Maybe this week after one of the days before I get off work.
You know, I'll probably be playing some more Red Faction 3 because I really love that game. So Online Night should make a return this Friday or whatever. I know Juan's been kind of playing a lot of Bomberman with you guys. So that's always crazy. And who knows what Juan's going to be playing. Did he ever start a new game after Resident Evil 4? Because I think you finished up RE4.
Yeah, he finished up. I don't know. We'll see what he's actually going to be playing. Yeah. I plan to play GTA Online with some people sometime in the future.
GTA Online?
Yeah, and actually set up rules for like the David killing spree.
You should mess around with Red Faction. It might be something.
I did!
You played it?
I played it for like 2 hours the other day.
Really?
Last week.
How'd you like it?
I hated it the beginning.
Oh,
Absolutely
I
hated it. But you start to get the feel.
Everyone
wants to have a hammers match. And I'm like, okay,
that's because the hammer's just so fucking brutal. And when you get to jump on a guy, you're like, flack. Oh man,
Flack right in the face.
It's great. You'll really like it, especially because it's all brutal and gory, like
fucked up.
I think your character is even carrying a sledgehammer. Yeah, it's funny too because after every match, it says preferred weapon. And somebody pointed out, everybody, assault rifle, assault rifle, assault rifle, assault rifle. When it comes down to me, sledgehammer, assault rifle, assault rifle, assault rifle, which is kind of funny. But it's just so fun to use. And like when you're combining like certain packs with certain weapons, like I said, like the fleet foot that makes you run really fast with the hammer, or you use just like whatever jetpacks with a really badass ranged weapon, and you could really fly up to the top of like some like mountainous thing and just sort of take out people from afar. It's a lot of fun.
Sweet.
So,
let's hit up some viewer questions.
Yeah, let's see. What do you got for viewer questions?
Real quick,
Me?
before I finish the JTV segment. This next week. I'm going to PAX.
Yes.
So I basically got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm leaving Thursday morning. So I don't know how much stuff I'll be able to play during the early. I'll try to play the stuff earlier in the week, but a lot of that time is going to be spent on preparations and packing and stuff like that. We do have. I did start a contest.
I saw that.
Because we watched Air Guitar Nation last week. We started a contest. I'm not entered in it. Hopefully,
but you did make a video.
Yeah. Hopefully, other people will join in because I'd really be bummed out if like 2 people, submitted entries and I will say I'll give away something I get at PAX. So hopefully I'll get some good stuff at PAX. I don't know if I will, but I mean, who knows? If not, we'll give him a shirt, or maybe we'll give him a shirt anyways. But hopefully they'll do something.
And you can probably expect. Next Monday, by the way, is a holiday, so I think you can expect probably our next podcast will actually be Monday night.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to ask you to bring Silent Hill.
Oh, shit.
You never did bring it by this week.
Yeah, good job, Nick.
Oh, well, I'll do it this week with Onimusha 4.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, I got some questions if you're ready to go.
Okay. I'm ready.
Viewer questions again. If you go to our forums at 4playerpodcast.com, we have threads for this kind of stuff, discussion topic ideas, top 5 ideas, and also we do start threads for viewer questions every week where you can leave your questions for us to answer live on the show. Thanks, Panic, this week for starting the thread. Speaking of which, Panic asks, what do you feel would make what game do you feel would make the best movie, assuming Uwe Boll was not involved?
This is actually, dude, I have to go back, way back in my mind and think. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Parasite Eve.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
Who would make a good Aya? Yeah. Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Angelina Jolie. She fucking does everything now.
I would go with Naomi Watts. Oh, that would be fucking.
No,
Naomi Watts. Naomi Watts. Yes. Fuck yeah.
I vote for Kristen Stewart doing everything.
No.
Because
she's not gonna be looking good as a blonde.
What the fuck?
I was kidding. Just because I think she's totally fucking amazing.
You take it back.
I will. But
good game.
I can't wait to see some
DDR, David.
DDR.
Dude, a game about competitive DDR play.
Dude,
there
do
you go.
Do a sequel to the original Super Mario Brothers movie, but Super Mario Galaxy.
What?
What is fucking stupid? You know, with freaking John Leguizamo, that it's Mario Galaxy.
All right. Yo, mama, can they bring back Bob Hoskins? Because
have you finished this question? Cause
you want Alone in the Dark, right?
No, it's already been done to a degree.
Oh yeah.
Where's my list? How about Turok, dude? Turok.
No.
All right. Well,
Born Conspiracy.
Born.
Wait, let me think about this.
I can't have y'all.
What about Dead Space?
Okay, Dead Space. I think they've already announced a Dead Space movie. I'm pretty sure.
Fucking.
Oh my God! Did y'all see the
Shadow of the Colossus?
Did y'all see the pictures of?
How could they do that?
I know. I actually thought about doing a movie. Shadow Colossus.
How about Psychonauts?
But doing a Shadow Colossus, yeah, that would work.
Did y'all see the first shots of Jake Gyllenhaal as Prince
Yeah, dude. That guy's
That's
I didn't know he worked out that much, dude.
Dude, yeah, fucking buff. Jesus
If I were a dude named Heath Ledger, I would have sex with her.
Oh God.
That's in bad taste for a variety of reasons. I apologize.
Oh,
I like the way he said it. For a variety of reasons, that was bad taste.
I'm ashamed of myself.
Okay.
Okay, you're not going to look at your entire list and decide and fantasize.
Gears of War.
Gears of War. Okay, fine. Yo Mama asks, and I seriously mean Yo Mama, says, what's the strangest or scariest creature you've ever seen in a video game?
Strangest or scariest creature?
Oh, dude. Those freaking baby things from Doom 3.
Ooh!
Those little spider little babies with the heads.
That's pretty fucked up.
Those are pretty fucked up.
To be honest,
Scariest, I'm going to go with a variety of ghosts from the Fatal Frame series, probably the Broken Neck Ghost.
If I had to pick one from Fatal Frame, I'd pick the bitch underneath the floor. It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
But it's maybe recent. But that big, bloated, fat bitch with the long neck in Siren that we saw in the courtyard that poked me in the eye with her nipple. Remember her?
Oh.
Creepy.
You know what?
The weird butterfly.
You know what?
Caterpillar looking lady.
Yeah,
You know
Caterpillar Lady. There
You
you
know
go.
what I popped in again the other day? Which is a game. I realized that, dude, I really like this game. It's just so fucking dark. I can't see what's going on. There's that Dark Watch. There's one enemy in that game which is like it's sort of like a vampire western and horror western, and there's just like old west horrors, like flying banshee women with big Gonzagas. Those are pretty cool, like creatures, strange creatures. I kind of like them. So Corvus asks, Corvus,
Skull Kid.
like that Corvus fellow, he's got a cool avatar. He says some well-known series seem to be taking steps into genres usually not associated with them. For example, Halo and FPS series moving into RTS territory with Halo Wars, or Final Fantasy's past foray into third-person shooter territory with
Parasite Eve going into third-person shooter.
Parasite Eve. So is there any other game or established series you would like to see dabble in a genre that is not usually associated with?
Wait.
Again, Warcraft and MMO world.
We're assuming that this is a good thing, right? Them dabbling into other things.
Well, why
Because
not?
when I think of that, it's like, we ran out of ideas.
If done right,
We can't do it this anymore. Let's
if
do
done
something.
right, you get World of
Why is
Warcraft.
Halo
If done right,
a RTS?
because it was originally an RTS. Halo was
I think
conceptually
in the
originally
case
an
of
RTS.
Halo, I think it works.
No, I think it'll work okay, but again, that's fine.
In fact, I'll probably end up liking Halo Wars more than Halo.
But why an RTS? I guess.
What RTS? I'm not.
Do.
The question isn't like what game would make a good RTS.
No.
But I mean, if you look at like say World of Warcraft, which is a fantastic game that came out of a really good RTS series, it seemed like a good fit and it worked.
How about the
Let's have
series
Guitar Hero
becoming
as
a
an
platforming?
MMO. Yeah, let's have Guitar Hero as an MMO.
Where you walk around and challenge
Yeah.
people to guitar battles.
Yeah.
And you fight the devil in a guitar battle.
Sure.
Large raids, guitar battles.
That's almost as crazy as your Mario first-person shooter idea.
No, that's not my.
I have an idea.
What?
I never said Mario first.
Take the Parasite Eve series and actually make it a cinematic horror RPG. There you go. That'd be a crazy idea.
How about
Why don't you? I'd like to see. That already happened.
What?
Good. Let's moving on.
yeah, moving on.
Well, so y'all don't have any idea?
How about Bourne becoming a platforming game instead of the third person?
No, we're not coming up with stupid ideas. We're talking about like good ideas.
Fuck you and your Guitar Hero MMO.
No, I'm serious about that. Guitar Hero. You know how many people play Guitar Hero right now?
What would you do in it? What aspect of MMO would make that better?
You go and fight other people and
That's
level up.
fucking stupid.
Bad.
Fucking
Bad. Burke Boy.
How about Phantom Dust as a successful online game?
That would be nice. Or how about Phantom Dust as a sequel? That's a good genre for it to move into. Sequel. Burt Boy asks, do you think someday there will only be one console or handheld being produced, like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo coming together, collaborating on a
No,
console?
not as long as they can make their money.
I'm going to go with no as well, but as an addendum to this question. Or, it's just a
good word.
It's just a different question altogether. I'm going to ask, do you ever see another company making a new console to compete?
Yes.
Who?
No idea.
I see EA doing it.
Really?
So many IPs that they have tied under
the
their
Madden
company.
franchise?
Well, not just Madden. Think about all the other franchises that they have tied to them.
Dude.
If they decided to make their own console with all of that IP exclusive to theirs, it's fucking. That's insane. That just destroyed Western development.
That's amazing.
Gold
That destroyed. Microsoft can't compete against that. They can't. And I don't know how Japan would take it, but
Well, that's amazing, though. Yeah. I mean, just the sports titles on itself.
I think it is definitely a possibility. I mean, we saw Sega, Dreamcast. Why not everybody else?
Yeah. SPK or Activision also. SPKN 820 says, do you think games like Final Fantasy, GTA, etc. will ever come to an end? If so, what should the producers do to make the series stop? Well, first of all, why do they want the series to stop if it's selling?
Especially a series like Final Fantasy, which is different every time and it's not always intertwined. It's a different game every time you buy it.
It's also
It just
5
has-
years in between it.
It just has a name.
So by the time the next one comes out, you're already kind of in that withdrawal syndrome. You want more. It's not like they make a new. It's not like Madden where they make a new one every single year.
Well, so what about a game like Call of Duty? Is it just going to keep going on and on and on?
In that case,
I mean, when does...
unfortunately, yes.
I think a series stops when it's had like I said, it's had a bunch of crappy games, and then they've had a chance to sort of they did a big push to revitalize the series, and then it still failed. That's when you kill off a series. Like for example, Tomb Raider started to become kind of shitty, really shitty. And if their big reboot with Tomb Raider Legend, if that ended up being a bad game, that probably could have been it for Lara Croft, to be honest. But it ended up being a good game.
Oh god, I don't mean to change subject, but do y'all see the promo shots of the new Lara Croft?
Do you think any female wearing anything simply is
No, I
attractive
think
to
it's terrible.
Oh, you think it looks bad?
Dude, she was totally taken advantage of in those pictures.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I don't know.
The camera guy basically told me
I'm
to do
not
like a high kick.
familiar. I'm not familiar with
He basically told her to
pictures.
do a high kick to the camera, and she did it. Like, boom, her leg's like right here, and you see like, bam, crotch shot. You can almost see like pubic hairs coming out. Like it's bad.
I'm glad Nick's doing this sort of research for us.
Yeah. It was my pleasure.
It was my pleasure.
It was bad.
Last question.
She's hot though.
Last question. Ryden, board member, Mod Ryden,
Cool.
asks,
Right, MDF?
how do you guys feel about XBLA and PSN taking over the time we usually have they take over the time in which we usually have a gaming drought? Do you guys wish they continue it, or rather spread out the XBLA and PSN games throughout the year?
I actually like.
Any new future updates on? Okay, that's a different question.
Well, I like. Considering I don't play those kind of games that often, but I mean it's nice when we're in a drought like this to have options.
That's
Like
important,
break.
yeah.
It seems like they're really trying to hit the summer hard with these downloadable games, and it really did. I think. I mean, I kind of liked it because it really did
Speed up the summer.
Yeah, it sped up the summer with some games that I found quite
Made
surprising.
it feel less sparse.
Braid and stuff, and Bobby Commando. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea. It does seem a little strange that they wouldn't spread something like that out, especially, you got Castle Crashers coming out this week, and, I mean, who knows, but as far as, I think another good question is, again, it's not necessarily related to his question, it's a question that I have for you guys, is that do you think, I mean, how do you feel about spending a lot of your game playing time playing these types of games versus full retail big games? I mean, do you feel any difference about it? Like do you feel bad that you're playing maybe a score-based game over and over again instead of playing? Do you feel less productive playing a PSN
definitely
game?
with score-based.
That's why
games,
we don't play games like that.
It sucks, yeah. Because I'd like to think that I have a friend, Justin.
Yeah.
A lot of games he plays, and he'll get to the end, and he won't beat it.
Yeah.
Because he feels like when he beats it, it's over. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like to play online games like MMOs.
Yeah.
Because I want something to be like, hey, I bought this game, I played it all the way through, I finished it. There's a sense of this accomplishment.
Yeah.
And then you move on.
You move on. See, I kind of feel that way about fighting games as well, because that's a game you can play and play and play. And you're still not exactly
you can always
getting
get better.
anywhere. You get better, but it's still not. You don't feel as productive if you don't have aspirations to do more with your newly developed skills.
Right, exactly. Like DDR got to a point where I was just like, okay, if I want to get better, I've got to invest so much more time into it if I want to go and do tournaments or whatever. So, and it just got to that point where I was like, dude, it's fun, but where else do I see this going? That's why, that's why I love console games and just games in general. You have ending point too.
I do as
well.
We got time. How about one more question before we move on to the 4Player minute?
Okay.
Pizza Pete 32 asks, do you think that classic games such as Pac-Man, Bionic Commando, Bomberman should be remade with a new look / style for all of us to play again, or do you think the classic games should be left the way they are?
Those kind of classic games, I think, should be left the way they are. There's a few exceptions.
I think it's a good
I think
idea.
Bionic Commando is one of those kind of exceptions. Maybe Mega Man too, but I don't see them bringing Pac-Man back to some kind of new.
I'm gonna go as far as this. I mean, I would say not only as far as the look goes, I think it should be slightly improved, maybe sort of modernized, what they do with Pac-Man Championship Edition, but also evolve, the game mechanic in a way that more suits.
Nowadays, trends nowadays.
Well, not just the trends, but just is more modern, something that's more fun. Those games, a lot of those old games were
very basic,
were very new and revolutionary, but by today's standards, they're not all that fun. But what they do with Pac-Man specifically, they made that into a game that's it's really has this really compelling mechanic that wasn't a part of the original Pac-Man at all. Yet it still feels you're running from ghosts, you're getting dots. It's still Pac-Man.
It's about them.
I know about this new
finding a creative way to reinvent it.
Creative way to reinvent it, absolutely.
And if they can do that right, then any game can be remade.
Did you mess around with the Galaga Legions demo at all?
No.
That might be an example of one of those types of games that takes it a little too far, because I played the demo a couple times, and that's almost a little too different than the way Galaga used to be. That game is fucking crazy. Do you know, that game, the default is that your ship is just firing automatically. You're not even pressing a button. You're not even holding something down.
Wow.
It's just automatically firing. And your mechanic of the game is just moving the analog stick to place your little drones around the stage to handle the different waves coming in. It's pretty. You might like it, dude. It's pretty crazy. But that's it for viewer questions. Again, if we didn't get to your question this week,
Try us again next week.
Yeah, just try to copy and paste your question in the next thread. Maybe I'll get to it, or maybe I just thought your question was stupid.
Oh man.
But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, let's wrap things up. 4-player minute, time of the show where we go around the table. We ask each person, they have 1 minute or so to say one game that they're, one shameful secret or / guilty pleasure, video game related, one sweaty palm, which is one game or industry thing that we're a little worried about, and one game we're really hyped about. Maybe a new game that we're hyped about, or just one that we just can't restrain our excitement for. So, let's somebody start this.
I'll go.
Oh, no, go for it.
All right. So, starting now, my sweaty palm is actually, I think I might be starting to develop a misplaced faith in EA. I'm really getting excited about Dead Space. I don't know if I should be trusting them that much. For the most part, they haven't.
What
put out
else?
great
Well,
stuff.
did you see any new footage?
I've seen
that
the
is
footage. I've seen footage. I'm still really impressed. I've heard nothing but good things at the shows, but I really like if they put the game out and it's short, its its story like falls apart, gameplay gets repetitive. You never know. Maybe it's too hard. Whatever. I think there could always be some flaw in there that we just can't see from seeing demos and stuff like that. So I'm really kind of nervous. I think it'll be really good, but I mean I like how they're trying to expand the universe. They're adding the webcomics and stuff and videos and that kind of thing, but kind of worried about that. My hype for the week, I'm getting really excited about Far Cry 2.
Yeah.
Not just the map editor, but just the game in general, man. It looks awesome. The stuff I've been reading, like, how you can distract, like, people, like, guards and guard towers by starting brush fires and sneaking around behind the camp while everyone's rushing to the front. That's just...
Have you played the first Far Cry?
Dabbled in
It starts off really slow, and I tried to start it again this week, but it was...
I love the choice of setting for this one. It's really getting me excited.
Wait, it's just a forest, right? Jungle again.
Africa. It's awesome.
It's still like outdoor, lots of trees and brush.
Yeah, but it has a much different feel than Far Cry 1. 'Cause Far Cry 1 was like bright, jungle on an island, and it was just it's different. This is more like savannah, and I don't know, dry. It looks
You say that.
it looks good. I'm excited. And my shameful secret, I may pick up BioShock for the PS3.
Oh my goodness,
Really?
I don't know. I love that game so much.
The challenge rooms sound interesting to me, though. Did you hear about those?
A little bit. You
Challenge
want
rooms?
to elaborate on them? 'Cause
I don't really know much. I just know that like you're gonna have these like sort of like missions, or like I don't know if it's gonna be tied into the game somewhere, or just sort of like as added on as another area, or if they're just gonna be like sort of separate like missions or whatnot. But it's like I think one example they gave was you're trying. I don't even remember exactly, but it's more puzzle based
yeah.
and like objective based than just sort of like just trying to get to an area or whatnot. And it sounds kind of interesting. It's nice to see that they're actually putting in new content for this PS3 version. And I'm wondering if they're gonna add it as DLC for the 360 or whatever, because I'd rather just get it that way.
We'll see. I'm going to wait and see what kind of reviews it's getting, see if maybe it's worth picking up the game for a second time. But, yep, that's me.
Cool. You want to go, or should I go?
Sure. Go for it.
Okay, for now. Probably a minute. Now. My shameful secrets is just like how much I've been avoiding like playing online games with like people of the community, because not because I feel like I should, because y'all really want to play, but because I tend to forget just how much I really do enjoy playing these games online. And it seems like I keep telling myself that I don't enjoy them as much. Let me just try to get through the single-player games. Again, tied into the whole productivity thing.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm playing games online over and over again, I'm not like getting anywhere as far as like beating games. But I was playing Red Faction today and having so much fucking fun. And it's just, I really enjoy it. But I do find it kind of draining after a while. Like, okay, I need to stop. As far as my sweaty palm goes, I'm a little worried about my future playthrough. That's coming up relatively soon. My playthrough of Fable 1, because I'm afraid I'm going to get back into it. I'm not really going to enjoy it, and it's going to turn me off from Fable 2. And I'm wondering
Really?
if maybe I should just stay away from Fable 1 and just kind of start anew with Fable 2.
Great. Y'all really had
You
that
pick
much
out
trouble
Fable
getting
2?
into it?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to look at Fable 1 to see if I really want to.
I started thinking about it when Nick said that we could play co-op. But That's
I'm
the
excited
only
about
thing that's I'm excited about.
I don't
I
know.
love Fable 1.
I think the game's going to be delayed. We haven't seen enough of it yet. It sounds so ambitious. Oh, you can come into my world and cap my wife. And bang my wife. You know, I heard there's like an orgy achievement in the game. Like if you successfully have an orgy but use like safely, use safe sex or whatever, you get an achievement. Shit you not. It's a real achievement.
That's what I'm buying the game. That's my shameful secret.
Fable orgy, I kid you not. Look it up, dude. I ain't lying. And the game I'm really hyped for, it's a game, there's been some more behind closed doors trial, like playings of the game. I think Leipzig, they finally let people actually play. I think maybe before they were just letting people watch. Or actually, I don't know if they've been letting people play it, but they've shown a lot more of the game, at least behind closed doors, and that's Bayonetta.
I knew that was what you were saying.
I really, really want to see more of this game. Every single thing that they... I just read like some impressions on Kotaku, I think it was, and they were just, like, they couldn't shut up about, like, the visual flair of this game. They says it looks fucking off the chain. They didn't say that. They probably wouldn't be writing for Kotaku if they said that. But I'm really excited about the game. I mean, just... It sounds like even more like crazy than like Devil May Cry. Like more visual flair, more style in terms of the moves and stuff, and you get to play as a chick, which is really fucking awesome. And if anybody's gonna be cooler than Dante, it's a female Dante. So yeah,
I've been wanting to see more of it too. It sounds.
I want to see like any of it. They haven't showed any gameplay yet.
I've seen a picture.
Oof, and I know you should get excited about it too because it's all like J-pop style things. So yeah.
There's nothing to
There's
say
no
about
blah 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 blah. We're gonna kill demons. Blah 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 blah. They're angels, but they're demons, or whatever the fuck that music is in Devil May Cry 4. You know, I like a more inspired like soundtrack. But yeah, go ahead, Dave.
We'll start off with my. I guess Nick, you gonna cue the music. Boop. We'll start off with my shameful secret. Back a couple of maybe 20 or so shows ago. We tried to do something like where we all recommend each other to play games.
Yeah.
And you had recommended Ultimate Spider-Man, and I think Brad had recommended like Hulk Ultimate Destruction. And I picked both those games up. I never even popped them in though. So maybe I'll go around and pick those up.
Maybe you should go with Crackdown, man. Crackdown's fun.
Yeah, maybe. But those weren't on my list. My sweaty palms. I'm kind of worried about PAX because there's a lot of stuff to do, not much time to do it, and I'll be going to Seattle. Which
You better not disappoint, bitch.
Well, I've never been to Seattle before, and I honestly don't know which hotel I'm staying, and I don't know how I'm getting from the airport to wherever PAX is, which I'm not sure either.
It's very simple.
Yeah. But
do you want me to take care of this, David?
Well, I call a taxi or whatever, but I have plans, but they're just very unsure plans. So, also I'm a little bit just worried about like the future of games. Like Brad's been worried about me, like what I get excited about, and because I'm in this transition where I used to buy everything, didn't matter, and now I'm getting to the point where it's like, oh man, money's a little tight.
You're being smarter with your money.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of sad because I want to pick these games up day one. I want to play them on the feed. I want to get
picking up the ones you really care about.
No, now I'm picking up the ones I have the money for. Because
you also care about.
Yeah, no, I care about, sure, but there's priorities, and some of them are getting cut out. Like Rock Revolution, I picked that up just to support them and just to try it out, but there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to pick up all three, Rock Band.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, so I'm there.
I would go disc with rock dicks.
I'm gonna call this.
I would go disc with Rock Band Revolution and Rock Band 2. And if you're gonna get a bundle, go with the Guitar Hero one. But seriously, I would say
I want to get the Guitar Hero bundle. I can't spend $200.
Just make sure you get
in
the
the
one
middle
with
of October
with one arm
on
scissors.
these games. That's 3 games I could get.
Very true.
So, anyways, Hype Machine. I don't know. There's nothing really coming out. Mercenaries comes out this week. Not really too worried about that. Mega Man's supposed to be in September. Who knows if it'll come out? I guess the next big game I'm waiting for is Wario Land at the end of the month of September, and that's a long ways away. So I mean, there's stuff I'm excited about in the future, but as of right now, for the immediate future, it's good that I'm not excited about anything coming out.
We're still in that.
Really?
I got some time, like this month, like this next week, this show.
September's going to start the craziness.
Exactly. So it's good that I'm like calm now, and have some time to save some money.
I'm wondering, like, I'm really curious about what you're going to come from after PAX. What you're going to come, like, take from it, like, as far as the games you're excited for.
Yeah,
So.
shit.
We'll
Yeah,
find
maybe
our
they'll
next
give
show.
me some free games.
He makes it sound like he's going to go there and not play anything.
No, I'll play stuff.
Yeah, you're right. September is like it's creating a snowball effect. I get 2
Yeah.
games in September,
October is
4 in
garage.
October. I'm
Ouch.
getting 6 games in November. It's just spiraling out of control.
Make sure you leave enough time for other stuff, dude. Thanks. So are we ending the show now?
Yes. I think it's going to play some Red Faction 3. Dude, just one match with that hammer is all you need. And then you'll play it at home. You'll find out how to
Okay.
get some bucks
This
to
is
count.
show number 77. Oh, I guess Brad, you're the host.
Brad.
You're going to finish this up.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. It's been episode 77. You can download our show and subscribe to our show via iTunes, or you can get it from our site at 4playerpodcast.com. If you subscribe via iTunes, leave us a review. I mean, I still think we only have like 5 or 6 reviews. I mean, come on, guys.
Is it 5 or 6 per show or just total?
It's
No, it's
total. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I think it's up to 9 or so.
Leave some reviews, guys. We don't
Right.
care. Just be honest in the reviews, but just leave them. I swear to you, like, the more reviews you leave. See, the thing is they have like featured video game. I think there's like 100 of them or so many where they feature video game podcasts like on their top ones where you could actually see their icon and you could select them without actually having to know the name of what it is. It'll actually let you browse. We would love to get on the list of podcasts where that you could just see by browsing the top video game podcasts. But the way we do that is not only with downloads and subscribing, but with these reviews. They look at those numbers. So if you actually do it, please maybe take some time out of your busy day watching our feed to leave a review.
Even if you just leave a review with a letter rating.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, no, I mean, be honest. We don't care if it's somewhat negative. I mean, just
We can
be
take
honest.
criticism.
We also, we love criticism. If you go to our forums at 4playerpodcast.com, we have a thread up to where you can give us all the criticisms you want because we look at those and
Motherfucker.
we find ways to improve upon them.
Dokapon Kingdom. I brought that up. I told you to say anything.
Well, we'll talk about it with them after the show. Or do you
Well,
want to hit?
Hype Machine, just to let you know, Dokapon Kingdom, Mario Party RPG. Weird.
Weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
Is that like the Mario versus like Dragon Quest party game? Or
No,
whatever?
no. It's not Itagaki Street or
Yeah.
Itagaki Street.
Yeah. Itagaki Street would be pretty creepy. That's a ninjas and boobs, women with big boobs. So yeah. Also, if you head over to our blog and read some of the stuff we've been posting,
Post our daily thoughts. And
post our daily thoughts and stuff. Leave some comments for the love of God. You have no idea like how nice it is to go and actually be able to read and respond to some of the stuff that's been commented on one of my posts or whatever. It encourages us to post more, make better posts and post more frequently. So let us know that you're actually checking out our blog. It's easy. It's really easy just to stop over there. When I'm loading up some shitty GBA game on the feed that y'all don't even want to watch, go check out our blog. It'll be great. So, anything else to mention?
No, I think that's about it. We'll be back next week with some impressions from PAX.
Impressions from PAX. Maybe David will actually do some stuff. Maybe take your recording device and
Just walk around talking to
talk to some people on the floor.
Sure.
Maybe you can. We'll talk about it after the show. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Episode 77
of the 4Player Podcast.
We out.
Oh,
I did both.
4Player Podcast.
Bye, guys.